Welcome, friends, to another edition of Wolff Responds. I want to respond to you today about the meaning of July 4th being celebrated across the United States. I want to remind everyone what it celebrates and then contrast that with what this bizarre Supreme Court has just done to the United States. We broke away as a nation from the British Empire. It was ruled at that time, back in 1774, 5, and 6, by a king, King George III of Great Britain. Here in the United States, not yet called by that name, we made a decision as a nation that we didn't want a king. We didn't want a king to rule over us. We wanted a nation of laws that were binding on everybody, black and white, man and woman, king or not king. And to make sure everybody got the message, we didn't just break away from England to be an independent country. We made the specific decision not to have a king. George Washington wasn't going to be a king and never was. We didn't want anyone to claim that they are above the laws, unlike everybody else. The Supreme Court of the United States, captured by extreme right-wing people, which has to be understood. Otherwise, you don't understand what's happening. That Supreme Court, owned and run by extreme right-wing conservatives, has just decided that the king, in our case the president, can be immune from the laws in his, whatever it means, official acts. Oh, that's really interesting. The president will now declare everything he does as an official act. If anyone says it's an unofficial act, we'll dispute that, says the court. And who will decide what's official and unofficial? Well, the Supreme Court. Who else? They've taken the power unto themselves. That's the hidden message here that isn't very hidden. We don't have any more a legislative branch, Congress, an executive branch, the president, and a judicial branch, the Supreme Court, cross-checking each other, balancing each other, limiting each other. No, 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 no. We're being taught what the conservatives always wanted. They want themselves in power, and that's what they did. They got a President Trump to put them in the Supreme Court, many of them, so that they could do what Mr. Trump couldn't do. Basically declare the last election didn't count. The president can come and do what he needs to do to undo the election, and it will be an official act that he's immune from prosecution. So, of course, he'll try. Every president will be in a position to try, and the court will decide which one is conservative enough to run the country. Look, you all know, because I talk about it a lot, and you know it from your own life, that the United States is a deeply divided, deeply troubled society these days. The empire, which we built and ran for the last 75 years, is declining. A new empire is rising in the East, and everybody knows. We are in a declining position led by people who don't want to face it, who don't want to recognize that every empire that ever arose, Greek, Roman, Turkish, British, they all went up and then they went down. And the American empire of the last 75 years, which gave us a good ride up, at least for many of us, is no fun riding down. But that's no reason for and no excuse to take away the precious protections built into this society before a group of extremely troubled, extreme right-wing conservatives decided to change all of that. Justice Sotomayor was right. She left out the respectfully this time. She simply said, I fear for the country. All of us who pay attention do. We could have used the 4th of July to honor the break from the British king. Instead, the right-wing extreme conservatives who took over the court dishonored the holiday by taking away the very break from unaccountable authority, unaccountable presidential action that we used to have. Yeah, it was sometimes violated, but we went and we struggled over it. We didn't suggest that anybody is above the law. Anybody can make an official act for which they have no legal responsibility. Bad day for the United States, making its other difficulties not better, but worse. If this kind of conservative mentality becomes stronger in the United States, we are going to have to face the fact that maybe we need another 4th of July to set things right. If these are interventions and comments that you find useful, that you might share with friends and family and coworkers, please know that that's why we produce them. We want you to do that. We work at giving you a reason to do it. If you can help us with the financial costs, by all means, go to our websites, and there you'll find ways of doing it. Last point I want to leave you with. We at Democracy at Work are about to release our latest book. It's one that I wrote, just finished, called Understanding Capitalism. It's the kind of book that will help you understand how we came to this sad 4th of July when we should have celebrated. I hope you'll take a look at it. I think you'll find it worthwhile. Thank you.